the NDS2. And there's nothing more soothing than country music echoing from the streets of Bulawayo. That in our This and That feature.
Students at Mushagashi Vocational Training Center design an automated shower unit, and in Sports Buzz, West and North Africa battle in AFCON semi-finals.
Well, we're looking forward to those and more stories in this Sunday edition. We'll now give you the news in detail, starting with the main news. The inclusive development agenda and strategic financing models have aided the success of women-led initiatives in key sectors of the economy, including mining, agriculture, tourism, and education.
Women entrepreneurs look ahead with optimism. This progress will be accelerated under the National Development Strategy 2. The details.
Women economic empowerment remains at the core of national government programs, and this is because our government recognizes the intrinsic link between sustainable development and gender equality.
Strategic policy documents such as the National Development Strategy 1 and the National Development Strategy 2 have been critical to closing gender gaps and eradicating barriers that previously hindered women's growth. Available statistics reflect huge strides on financial inclusion of women and their access to finances standing at above 85%. Participation of women entrepreneurs in the national economy has spread from tourism to mining, agriculture, and education.
I'm excited to have been a beneficiary of such policies that have actually opened doors for women. Now we boast of a lot of women who have made names for themselves, either in security, in retail, in education, women like myself, in education, in manufacturing, across the board. As long as you've got the zeal, the opportunities are there, and we appreciate the policies in terms of the improvement in the environment. The working environment itself has improved. It is no longer a situation whereby gender is an issue. Perhaps other issues come to play, yes, but gender is definitely not an issue as far as empowerment and, making progress as a person, as a Zimbabwean specifically, is concerned.
Ms. Emma Kativu is a tourism and hospitality entrepreneur. She tells us support programs under these national policies have acted as vital arteries for business growth.
Looking at where we were maybe 5 years ago and now, the policies that have been put in place have been to address the issue of having an upper middle class society, I think by 2030, but also to move maybe smaller businesses to become medium-sized to become large corporates. And the issue, as you can see with the recent slashing of registration fees, operating fees, that has sort of helped smaller players to become compliant and to regularize and to formalize their businesses. That's a step towards the ease of doing business and ensuring that the industry continues to grow. We even have something called the Women's Bank, the Women's Empowerment Bank, whereby it's easy for the woman to open an account, and there's an account relationship manager that sees you through that growth.
By emphasizing on the maximum participation of women, government recognizes that this process cannot be complete without the full participation of women in various economic sectors.
Through the National Development Strategy blueprints, President Emmerson Mnangagwa says his government continues to show commitment to inclusive growth and women empowerment.
Job creation, entrepreneurship, youth and women empowerment, as well as the growth of the sport, creative and cultural industries remain of critical importance under my administration. Support for content creation resonates with nation building, development and value addition to aid industrialization, as well as entrepreneurship programs for youth and women will be enhanced. To this end, the implementation of the National Development Strategy number 2 will be anchored on robust and well-coordinated supportive structures that promote communication and dissemination, coherence, accountability, and inclusivity for the delivery of our national priorities and objectives.
Now, a key aspect of both the National Development Strategy 1 and the National Development Strategy 2 is that it recognizes that gender equality is the catalyst to achieving the broader national objectives. Theophilus Chuma, Zambezi News, Harare.
Gold miners are in talks with government over the 2026 gold production targets, riding on increased output that reached over 46 tons last year.
The talks are expected to review the performance of the gold mining industry, assess challenges and facilitate increased output this year. Sources are conversant with the talks are revealed to ZBC News that the 2026 target for the yellow metal is likely to be above 45 tons. An economist, Dr. Zek Murerwa, outlined the importance of consolidating the growth in gold output.
It has become obvious that given the necessary framework, you can achieve set targets. And 2025, it was easy, and it became easy to achieve in excess of 45 tons in terms of gold production. And most of it is coming from artisanal miners. So what is now needed is a consolidation and a follow-up of the current reserved sector regulations, which has upped the game in terms of the reserved sectors, being an option to actually contribute to the economy. So the artisanal mines, they have to be equipped, they have to be given the necessary capital and recapitalization for their businesses, and also for the established firms to ensure, obviously, they comply with the regulations.
Fidelity Gold Refinery is optimistic about the gold production growth trajectory driven by favorable global commodity prices.
We are pleased to report that we surpassed our gold delivery target for the year 2025 by 17%. We received a total of 46.7 tons of gold as of 31 December 2025. The major drivers were as follows. 1. Favorable government policies that supported the gold mining sector. Secondly, favorable gold prices that resulted in increased gold production.
Gold plays an important role in Zimbabwe's economic growth, accounting for over 70% of our yearly foreign currency inflows. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Government is strengthening focus on smart agriculture, targeting to boost irrigation infrastructure, attracting private investment and optimizing the water resource base.
Over the years, Zimbabwe has been shifting from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation-led production, a structural reform aimed at delivering food sovereignty and bankable agricultural value chains. With more than 10,000 water bodies countrywide, the government is targeting over 2 million hectares.
We must de-link our production from the weather. That is the key thing that we must do. We have more than 10,700 water bodies in the country. And there, the potential for irrigation from all those water bodies is over 2 million hectares. We are currently sitting on 233,000 hectares. We know that if we can have at least 350,000 hectares assigned to production of cereals, we will be able to produce more than enough food for this country. And that is the path that we are in, to ensure that we have enough irrigation. So the irrigation thrust is key to climate proofing. And this is irrigation at scale.
New and existing dams are being developed as investment opportunities to expand irrigated land and enhance commercial production.
We also have these water bodies that we have constructed, Tubimkosi, Osborne Dam, Machikade Dam, Waishangani, which we are constructing, and various other big dams. The water must be utilized for irrigation. And that is the thrust now, where we are inviting investors to say, get a water body and utilize it for irrigation. That will unlock massive irrigation potential and massive irrigation for this country. We formed the Irrigation Development Alliance to ensure that all the people involved in irrigation come together on one table.
Authorities say the irrigation drive will unlock scalable production, strengthen value chains, and position agriculture as a climate-resilient, investor-ready sector. These initiatives aim to meet national cereal requirements, secure village-level food production, and transform Zimbabwe's agriculture to feed its people while generating surplus for the market. Wellington Makwanese, ZBC News, Harare.
The government has moved to contain the outbreak of crop pests affecting parts of Matabeleland North Province, with control measures expected to be intensified this week.
A visit by this news crew to Hwange district on Thursday revealed the extent of the damage, with several farmers reporting pest infestations in early-stage crops, particularly traditional grains and sunflower. Provincial Agricultural and Rural Development Advisory Services, ADA's Acting Director, Mr. Mkhunjulelwa Ndlovu, said government is this week distributing pesticides to all affected districts to curb the infestation and protect remaining crops, with Cholocho, Hwange and Binga the most affected areas.
Ukudla lobu sobuqalisile ukubonakala uqale Hwange baya eBinga kade sokuzwakala somumatha eCholocho. Ukudla lobu eHwange sobukhathaza abalimi, ikakhulu into esikhathazayo ukuthi kudla izilimo lezi sithi ngamabele lenyawuthi umumbu kuyawuchiya nje. Thina njengohulumende sesingenile sincedisana labalimi labo bonke logatsha elibona ngezezibungu esithi migratory pest control. Sesithumezile imithi sebeqalise ukuspraya iGMP la yancedisa yathumezela imithi ncedisa abalimi ukuthi baspray.
Despite the setback, Mr. Ndlovu encouraged farmers not to lose hope, urging them to replant where possible as conditions remain favorable in most areas, with support structures already in place.
Balimi ngenena amasimini umuthi wokuspraya sukhona. Njengoba kuyizibungu ezihlashela isikhathi ebusuku, phutha nje ukuthi indlovu zesikhathi ziyahlupha. Bekuqakathekile ukuthi kamfanele okuhlanyele khona sokumilile ubuye ebusuku masinya fafaza umuthi wesithi carbaryl 85% uyakubulala lokho izibungu kufe. Sithi balimi lingalathi imbeleko ngokufela ubuyelana emasimini izulu likhona silimeni sibe lokudla eziphaleni.
The distribution of inputs and technical guidance comes amid ongoing government efforts to strengthen household food security and agricultural productivity. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Hwange District.
Zimbabwe has joined the global community to discuss strategies and necessary actions for the advancement of renewable energy at the 16th session of the International Renewable Energy Agency underway in Abu Dhabi.
Zimbabwe is among the nations participating at the 16th session of the International Renewable Energy Agency in Abu Dhabi, where global leaders in the energy sector are gathering to chart the way forward in renewable energy development. Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development Honorable Yokai Simbanegavi reaffirmed the country's commitment to addressing energy and climate challenges in line with its national development agenda.
Zimbabwe is committed to achieving universal access to clean, reliable and affordable energy by 2030, while reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 40% over the same period, with renewable energy as a central pillar of our climate action. In pursuit of these goals, Zimbabwe has made significant progress in strengthening its policy, regulatory and institutional framework. The National Renewable Energy Policy is a number of incentives that promote private sector investment in power generation with a strong focus on solar, hydro, wind and biomass. Complementing this is the National Energy Efficiency Policy, which promotes efficiency across households, industry, mining, transport, commerce, and agriculture.
Zimbabwe is also using the platform to highlight the country's strides and opportunities within the renewable energy sector, while also underlining policies and regulatory frameworks supporting foreign investment. The International Renewable Energy Agency Assembly brings together over 1,500 delegates from 171 member states, including ministers, CEOs, youths, and international organizations, coming together to shape a global energy agenda for 2026. This session is running under the theme Powering Humanity, renewable energy for shared prosperity. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
United Nations Assistant Secretary General, who is also UN Women's Deputy Executive Director, Dr. Nyaradzai Gumbonjwanda, is expected to undertake a high-level mission to Zimbabwe starting this Monday. The mission is targeted at building collective action to safeguard progress on gender equality and women's empowerment.
The visit by the United Nations Women Deputy Executive Director Dr. Nyaradzai Gumbonjwanda comes at a pivotal moment for gender equality efforts as global reforms and shifting donor priorities reshape the development landscape. Dr. Gumbonjwanda is expected to engage with key stakeholders, including government representatives, development partners, civil society organizations, and UN agencies, to reinforce commitments to gender equality, strengthen coordination, and identify pathways for sustaining impactful programs in Zimbabwe.
Her visit comes at a critical moment for the country's gender equality journey, a time marked by renewed commitment to women's leadership, youth participation, and stronger partnerships between government, CSOs, and international institutions, and a time where Zimbabwe is advancing its preparations for the 70th Commission on the Status of Women in New York. Dr. Gumbonjwanda's presence in Zimbabwe goes beyond protocol. It is an opportunity to reconnect global gender equality agendas with national priorities.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Senator Monica Mchangwa, noted the significance of the visit in scaling up interventions and joint programming opportunities.
This visit is coming at a time when we need it more. It's very strategic. The reforms in development financing and the shifting of donor priorities, these we know how that they will affect gender equality initiatives. So this is the right time to see how we can go about it. As we meet the Assistant Secretary General and UN Women Deputy Executive Director, Dr. Gumbonjwanda, we want to see as a country that together with them, how can we focus on several objectives which are central to advocacy, promoting the integration of global gender equality commitments, such as the CEDAW Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women.
Zimbabwe has demonstrated strong political will through recent policy reforms, including the National Gender Policy 2025, the Gender-Based Violence Strategy 2023 to 2030, and the Marriages Act 2022. These frameworks continue to provide a solid foundation for advancing women's rights. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services is on a drive to mobilize funds for the completion of a health facility in Marondera, which will provide services to over 5,000 people in and around the Ridigita community.
The construction of Ridigita Farm Prison Clinic, initiated in 2022 by the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, ZPCS, is set to be completed within the first quarter of this year, following the mobilization of more resources.
The clinic provides healthcare to an estimated population of about 4,436 people, comprising of 14 farms, 5 schools, and 3 villages. Since its opening, it has been operating from a single-room structure. This clinic is not just for the Ridigita Farm Prison officers and inmates, but it is also serving the community. So your contribution towards ensuring that we successfully complete our projects will go a long way, enhancing the lives of our inmates, our staff, and the community at large.
The health facility being constructed under the ZPCS Building Brigade Skills Transfer Program has a buy-in from the local community. Local leadership and the diaspora community will express the support to the project that will improve access to quality healthcare services within the surrounding communities.
We, the farmers of Ward 5, are very, very, very happy that ZPS has taken the initiative to build the clinic up to the level that it has gone up to, and engaging all of us to assist in its completion. Once the building is completed, it will service everybody in the community.
I would want to thank the ZPS for their initiative, and I would also want to take the opportunity to thank the resident minister, the farmers, the councillor, the party, who have also mobilized more resources that will see this project completion maybe in the first quarter of 2026.
Mashonaland East Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution Advocate Taindudzo has rallied stakeholders to support the construction works.
We are quite happy to learn that there's been tremendous progress of our state-of-the-art facility, which is now at wall plate level. And the outstanding works simply comprise of the roofing aspect and the finishings. It is our anticipation that all things being equal, we should be able to complete the outstanding scope of works before the end of Q1 2026.
Completion of this health facility at Redigita Farm Prison will provide huge relief for the community. Kenya Sifuje, ZBC News, Marondera.
The Judicial Service Commission, JSC, says it will recruit more judges this year to reduce case backlogs as it aligns its operations with the National Development Strategy 2. JSC Secretary Dr. Walter Chikwana confirmed this development as one of the key areas targeted for enhancement by the Commission during this legal year, officially starting on Monday.
There is a serious shortage of judicial officers in the country, both judges and magistrates. You would appreciate that for the past decade, we have been recruiting judges and magistrates, but this recruitment has been based on replacing those that would have left either through death, retirement, or resignations. But the courts have expanded through opening various court stations, and the population has continued to increase. And litigation in Zimbabwe has also increased. We have not responded enough as Judicial Service Commission in ensuring that we have the right and correct number of people who adjudicate over those matters. So it's really something that is seriously being looked into, because right now we have 80 judges adjudicating over disputes of around 15 to 16 million people, and we have 250 magistrates. So it's one of the focus of the Judicial Service Commission to look at increasing the number of our judicial officers so that we lessen the burden of the work that they are supposed to do, which will also ensure that as they have less work, they improve in the quality output of the work that they'll be doing.
That report on the Judicial Service Commission taking us to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, where Spugele is ready with the other part of the bulletin. Spugele, good evening.
Thank you very much, Yvonne and Joyce, for taking us through the bulletin. Hello, Zimbabwe. Let's carry on with the news from this end. The ruling ZANU-PF party Matabeleland South leadership has assessed development projects in Beitbridge, reaffirming its commitment to continued implementation of programs that enhance livelihoods.
The big hall that you see behind me here is Lutumba Hall in Beitbridge East constituency, where the ruling ZANU-PF party leadership from Matabeleland South province met its grassroots members to share notes on what best can be done to strengthen the party and also map the way forward on developmental projects that speaks to the needs of the communities.
So ripa chance ri teachers ripe zviro zvavanhu. Vamwe vavakoriwa zvenda vaitera 2018. So ridodzura pasi zvevamba zvothe zvila razviraveresa. Mara ndibona ngari hezvi zviri kangama ngori rikopfa zvinotsvenya vanhu. Arifanira rideri chibvanta marikopfa zviri tsvenya vanhu.
Almost 6 out of 7 rural wards
highlighted that they need either a school or a community hall or a clinic. And I said, this is the time to take advantage of being 100% ZANU-PF in that local authority, to move these motions in council, get the motions approved, and once they are approved, then it is easy to begin to attract funding. So then the people will see that they did not make a mistake by voting ZANU-PF 100%.
The meeting by the ZANU-PF leadership and the grassroots members is in line with President Emerson Mnangagwa's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind as the country marches towards Vision 2030. Aifeli Mudau, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
The National AIDS Council is strengthening men's health programs to break stigma and promote knowledge transfer.
The National AIDS Council NAG held a male engagement program in Bulawayo, an initiative targeting to revisit traditional concepts that safeguard health and sexuality.
Now men are actually staying away from their traditions, away from their nuclear families, away from their sapugus, away from their chiefs, where these traditions were easy to apply. Now they are here in town where they are working. So you find that those gatherings where men would gather and be taught about growing up, what being a man means, the initiation ceremonies that were done, they are no longer there. And it was not just an initiation, it also came with a lot of education.
Ama-forums anjengawona la yaza kwenza ukuthi ababa bathi come to the open, then badiscuss izinto ezibahluphayo. Lama-suicidal ideations azasuka kubo.
Dubbed the Male Initiation Dialogue, this engagement forms an essential part of shaping the moral character of men, as well as promoting the transfer of generational knowledge. These dialogues center on sacred teachings and also cover behavior towards women and community responsibility.
Indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili sibizele namakhehla lezalukazi besithethi nxa unkosi umalukazana wayefihlelwana ungafelwa ngumfazi uzwe emacansini hlala isikhathi singakanani onye singabe sirobhana lapha lokho esikhuluma ngenxa ye-professional akubizwa abantu abadala ivinovele emashingo khona lekatshana ivinovele efulabhusikithi kumbe ematopo ematojeni.
If you are in good books with your wife, even even whatever you are looking for, you are looking for money, but you are savings, or if you are doing any other project. But if you are in good books with your wife, everything moves smoothly.
According to the National AIDS Council, the revival of male initiation dialogues can help define modern positive masculinity that does not promote harmful stereotypes. Lisa Correa, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
A search operation is underway on the Zambezi River following reports that 2 people were swept away by strong currents during a suspected baptism ceremony this Saturday. It is suspected that the pair have been conducting a religious ritual when they were overwhelmed by water currents. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is yet to formally confirm the incident, as investigation to establish the full circumstances surrounding the matter are ongoing while the search continues.
A search operation is underway on the Zambezi River following reports that 2 people were swept away by strong currents during a suspected baptism ceremony this Saturday. It is suspected the pair may have been conducting a religious ritual when they were overwhelmed by the water currents. The Zimbabwe Republic Police has since confirmed the incident, saying investigations are in progress to establish the full circumstances surrounding the matter, while search teams continue combing the river.
Zimbabwe Republic Police is investigating a said incident which occurred in Victoria Falls yesterday, where 2 people died during a baptism ceremony in a gorge. We will be releasing more details in due course.
Meanwhile, the incident comes just days after another tragedy in the same gorge, where the body of a 49-year-old American tourist was recovered on Wednesday after he reportedly fell from the Zambian side of the Victoria Falls. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Well, that'll be all from the Marches News Desk. The news will now take a break. Returning with more news from the Pockets Hill News Desk, where Yvonne and Joyce will take us through the rest of the bulletin from this end. Good evening.
Whether you're scaling up or ready to go global, we are here to help with finance, contacts and advice, smart banking tools and our Pan-African network. You can thrive faster with us. Discover a better way to grow at ecobank.com/commercial. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Guided by the policy direction of His Excellency, the President, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development has placed ambulances at major accident hotspots for the festive season. If you need emergency help, call Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe on 0772 922 623 or toll free 991 or 591. Ambulances from Discovery Ambulance and Highway Emergency Medical Services are stationed in Masvingo, Matabeleland, Manicaland, Mashonaland East, Midlands, and Mashonaland West, ready to rush you to safety. Road safety is my responsibility and yours too. Drive safe, stay alert, and remember, help is just a call away. This festive season, protect yourself and your loved ones, because every life matters. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development and the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
A historic moment unfolds as Zimbabwe welcomes the world for the ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup 2026, co-hosted with Namibia from the 15th of January to the 6th of February 2026. Cricketing nations including the United States of America, England, Scotland, India, New Zealand, Bangladesh and Pakistan are coming together for this global sporting showcase. For the first time, Masvingo, home to Great Zimbabwe, will take center stage, hosting practice matches for the tournament. Masvingo is where cricket was first played in Zimbabwe and is deeply connected to our origins, Zimbabwe, our history and our heritage, making it the perfect place to welcome tourists from across the world. But this is more than cricket. Zimbabwe invites the world to enjoy world-class facilities, warm hospitality, and unforgettable tourism experiences. From heritage and culture to breathtaking natural wonders and our rich gastronomy, the country stands out as a premier destination for international sporting and tourism experiences. Come for the cricket. Stay for the adventure. Zimbabwe 2025, #1 destination in the world, according to Forbes magazine. Zimbabwe, inaka yedu, ilifa letu. Our heritage. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
You're still watching Sunday Edition. Thank you for staying with us. Now, for decades, passers-by in Bulawayo's central business district have been drawn not by noise or spectacle, but by the soothing country music echoing through the streets. More in all this and that feature.
I'll try to forget.
Inspired by the golden era of country music, a visually impaired street artist, Tafirenyika Dube's style reflects the influence of legendary musicians such as Jim Reeves, Don Williams and Dolly Parton, whose music once dominated radio stations in the olden days. His voice, smooth and steady, has remained remarkably strong despite the passing of time, and residents can't help but stop to listen and reflect.
Utafin Kasuba Mazi 2000 ni junior fingers salon umuntu ohlabelana eyaziwa yonke itown yonke even la makathesi sengise-pioneers umuntu oyaziwayo ukuthi uyafundisa abanye ukuhlabela abantu bonke nxa bedlala kwe-pioneers. I-pioneers ithuthuke ngaye.
Ari panapa is so talented. Vanonzi Mr. Dube vanoimba. We call him our Don Williams in Bulawayo. He's a very good singer. I think for the past 10 years ndane nguva ndichivaona vachiimba.
Yeah, I was just passing by and waiting for my family in here, and I just stood here, heard the gentleman sing. Actually, he was playing one of my hymns from my church, and I sang along. So it's nice to see that there's someone who passively preaches.
Sesilesikhathi siyabe sidlula lapha kubaba uThafi esaselo mama sithi nguDolly Parton loDon Williams. Imusic yakhe sasilalela sikhula iyasikhumbuza nje amalanga amahle awakudala wona lana. The music is good. Siyayithanda sibili, the soothing, the relaxing atmosphere of the music.
For the visually impaired artist, the street is more than a stage. It is a place of purpose and connection.
From esikolo semncane guitar qala. Manje keyboard and guitar. Kodwa night esikolo salon. I don't see the school upper nature. So at night guitar. Yeah, I'm not a country. A country
As the city moves on around here, Madube remains a living soundtrack of Bulawayo, a timeless voice proving that music, like the human spirit, can endure for a lifetime, and passion, when nurtured, never grows old.
No, you can hurry in. She won't come with you, cowboy. She's in love with a rodeo man. He drank Helen beneath and storm of.
Wow, amazing talent there. And that's our This and That feature. It will take us to a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Whether you're scaling up or ready to go global, we are here to help with finance, contacts and advice, smart banking tools and our Pan-African network. You can thrive faster with us. Discover a better way to grow at ecobank.com/commercial. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Guided by the policy direction of His Excellency, the President, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development has placed ambulances at major accident hotspots for the festive season. If you need emergency help, call Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe on 0772 922 623 or toll free 991 or 591. Ambulances from Discovery Ambulance and Highway Emergency Medical Services are stationed in Masvingo, Matabeleland, Manicaland, Mashonaland East, Midlands, and Mashonaland West, ready to rush you to safety. Road safety is my responsibility and yours too. Drive safe, stay alert, and remember, help is just a call away. This festive season, protect yourself and your loved ones, because every life matters. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development and the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
Get ready. All in one place. Introducing the new Zim Digital Decoder, so you can enjoy more in full HD for free without monthly subscriptions. You can now get to enjoy Zimbabwe's best and new TV and radio channels on the Zim Digital Decoder countrywide. All you need to do is purchase your Zim Digital Decoder for $25 or Zig equivalent. This is a once-off payment for the decoder, no monthly subscriptions. Hurry and get your Zim digital decoder at Transmedia offices, Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, Kingstones, Ground Floor, Harare, and all TV broadcasters. Zim Digital, tirimotese sonke skona.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sunday Edition, and the big one in our sports bus this evening. A continental rivalry takes center stage at the Africa Cup of Nations this week as West Africa and North Africa go head-to-head for a place in Sunday's final in Rabat.
He's trying to tame a wizard, which is not that easy. Imam Ashur, he has broken loose here. There's a good ball into the penalty box. Look at that! Unbelievable pass!
The heat is building up on who will be crowned African champions this year as the race goes into the semi-final stage set for Wednesday. Senegal face Egypt in the first semi-final in Tangier on Wednesday before Nigeria take on host Morocco in the second last four encounter. From here, the road to the title opens into three distinct possibilities. It could be an all-West African final. It could be a North African affair. Or it could be a cross-continental decider with West meeting North on the African football's biggest stage in Rabat. This is more than a contest of teams. It is a clash of two regions that have shaped the history of African Cup of Nations.
Nigeria's recent record against Algeria doesn't make for happening. That's a great ball!
West Africa arrives with depth, athleticism, and a production line that has dominated recent tournaments. North Africa counters with tactical discipline, home advantage, and the tradition of tournament control. The numbers underline the rivalry. West African nations have claimed 16 AFCON titles of power. West Africa's football is shaped by intensity, transitions, and individual match winners. North Africa's approach is rooted in shape, patience, and game management. When these philosophies collide, matches are often decided by the finest of margins. By Wednesday night, the picture will be clearer. Africa's two most influential football regions are no longer circling each other from a distance. They are now face-to-face with history, style, and identity converging in the final days of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Lawrence Rusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Oh, it's a great goal! It's absolutely classy from that man right here!
In a sad development, Shisham FC midfielder Frankson Bushiri has died after sustaining injuries from a road traffic accident that occurred on Wednesday morning near Regina Mundi High School. He was 34. Indications are that his vehicle veered off the road and struck a tree near Regina Mundi High School in Gweru. Zimbabwe Republic Police Officer commanding Gweru District Chief Superintendent Leon Marongeza confirmed the development.
May his soul rest in peace. Now, the beach volleyball series has started with 8 men's teams and 6 women's sides battling for top honors at the old Milton Park Bowling Club in Harare.
The revamped Milton Park Bowling Club provided the stage for the opening round of the beach volleyball series, marking a new chapter for the sport in the capital. 8 men's teams and 6 women's sides lined up for the season opener as organizers seek to grow participation and raise the profile of beach volleyball locally. Players braved the heavy rains that swept across Harare, but still delivered an entertaining display of skill, resilience, and competitive spirit, much to the delight of the fans who turned out for the opening weekend. Administrators say the league is not only about competition, but also about developing venues that can meet international standards and open doors for global participation.
Our plans for this year is to grow and to popularize beach volleyball, but more importantly to develop our venues and also to make sure that these venues are able to meet international standards so that we can invite and host international teams. Already we are planning on bringing foreign teams in the coming events because one of the requirements is to make sure we homologate our events. So homologation means we need to have international teams taking part. So our major setback has been facilities, but we are happy that we are working with different partners and stakeholders to ensure that we have the right beach volleyball facilities.
With a competition now underway at the New Milton Park Harbour, organizers are confident the beach volleyball series will accelerate the sport's growth, improve infrastructure, and position Zimbabwe to host international events in the near future. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Athletes from across the country are meeting once again to battle for top honors at the Harare track and field competitions, which kicked off at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare this Saturday. Big stars did not disappoint on the opening day of the competition, with Elizabeth Msipa underlining her dominance in the senior women romping to victory in both 100 and 200-meter events. The Provincial Athletics Board has expressed satisfaction with the turnout of the event.
We have quite a number of international events and regional events, and Harare Metropolitan Province is also hosting the NASH Nationals. So every coach, every athlete was eager for this event. They were actually waiting for it because the turnout is quite pleasing. We were not expecting this huge crowd, but surprisingly, people came from different walks of life, and they are all here. And they are competing well. Our youth are the backbone of athletics, and they are our future podium athletes. So they are ready to go. We can see improvements from fields, track, throws, jumps, you name it, because their results are actually telling us that they are really proud to be representing their country again in international meets.
And that's our sports buzz for this evening. It takes us to a break. We'll be back shortly.
Africa, a land of passion, pride, and power. Across this vast continent, the game runs deep. In every back alley, beach, and pitch, 1 billion hearts beat to one rhythm, the Africa Cup of Nations. We remember the kings of Cairo, when Zambia shocked the world, when Nigeria soared, the dreamers of Yaoundé, when Senegal stood tall. Last time, the elephants rose. From the thunder of Casablanca to the lights of Marrakesh, the stage is set in Morocco. This is where the past meets the present, where new stories begin. 24 nations, one trophy, but no script.
Oh, what a strike!
The drums return. The ground shakes. The continent rises. This is AFCON 2025. This is ours.
Do you remember back in the day? We would gather at that one house that had a TV in the whole neighborhood to watch our favorite programs on ZBC. Whether it was thrilling wrestling matches, captivating dramas, or the iconic Ezomkito, ZBC TV was an integral part of our upbringing. It wasn't just a channel, it was a shared joy that brought us together. Fast forward to today, and ZBC continues its tradition of delivering top-tier entertainment to your homes. Whether you're tuning in for news, music, educational content, or gripping dramas, we're committed to keep you entertained and informed 24/7. With an expanded channel lineup, we're more than just broadcasters. We're a reflection of Zimbabwe's enduring spirit. Join us on this exciting journey as we revive the golden days and create new ones. Together, we're building a brighter future towards Vision 2030. ZBC TV, Your voice, your choice.
Thank you for staying with us on Sunday edition. We now go further afield in regional news, where Ethiopian Airlines on Saturday officially started a $12.5 billion construction project for what officials say will be Africa's biggest airport when completed in 2030 in the Ethiopian town of Bishoftu. The state-owned airline got the contract to design the 4-runway airport in the town, located around 45 kilometers southeast of Addis Ababa. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said Bishoftu International Airport will be the largest aviation infrastructure project in Africa's history. The airport will have space to park 270 planes and capacity for 110 million passengers a year. That is more than 4 times the capacity of Ethiopia's current main airport, which will reach its limits on existing traffic in the next 2 to 3 years. The airline's infrastructure development and planning director, Abraham Tasfaye, said it will fund 30% and lenders would finance the rest. It has already allocated $610 million for earthworks, which are due to be completed in 1 year.
And time for us to get the weather report and forecast courtesy of the Met Services Department.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. My name is Baba Maketa, and it's time for today's weather report and forecast. A combination of cold and moist southeasterly airflow together with northern resulted in some heavy precipitation, especially over the central watershed, and this resulted in 85 millimeters of rainfall being recorded over Kwekwe in 24 hours, followed by Chakari with 60 millimeters, Shamba recorded 55 millimeters, and Maronda recorded 42 millimeters in 24 hours. Now, other areas had precipitation amounts are less than 40 millimeters. As of tomorrow, we're expecting a deep low pressure system over the southeastern parts of Zimbabwe, and this should result in heavy precipitation in those areas on Monday, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday. And the northern parts of the country is also expected to be wet throughout the forecast week. Now, in terms of temperatures, we're expecting temperatures to be a little bit lower, especially over the central parts of Zimbabwe due to the rains, but should be a little bit warmer over the north as well as the extreme southern parts of Zimbabwe. In terms of our maximums, tomorrow we're expecting again temperatures not to go beyond 28 degrees Celsius countrywide, and again this is due to the precipitation that we're expecting over the country tomorrow. Now, taking a deeper dive into the forecast for our major cities, starting with Bulawayo, we're expecting a week to be raining, and temperatures won't go beyond 30 for Bulawayo. The Matowo again is expected to be raining throughout the week, and temperatures again won't go beyond 30. And in Gwanda, the same situation is expected, and rains are expected to be heavier on Friday and Saturday next week. Gweru again, it should be raining throughout the week, and temperatures won't go beyond 24. Masvingo, the same situation is expected, and temperatures won't go beyond 28. Mutare again should be raining for the whole week. We are also expecting rains throughout the whole week in Nyanga, and temperatures won't go beyond 19. Marondera, the same situation is expected, and temperatures cannot go beyond 23 because of these rains. Harare, the same situation, the whole week is expected to be wet. In Kadoma, again, a wet spell is expected for the coming week. Chinoi, we are also expecting the same situation, and temperatures in Chinoi won't go beyond 24 degrees Celsius. Victoria Falls, again, should be raining, but lesser rains as expected in Victoria Falls. Lupane, again, should be raining on Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week should be a little bit drier. Bindura, raining throughout the week, and temperatures not going beyond 24 degrees Celsius. Kariba should be warm and raining throughout the forecast week. Now, Zimbabwe, this is all we had for you in this edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. Enjoy the rest of your viewing, and remember to stay safe.
Well, many thanks there to Baba Maketa and the Met Services Department for giving us the weather report and a forecast. Yvonne, it looks like the weather will remain wet this week.
Good for us farmers, I can say.
Well,
you have
awesome.
No idea how excited I am.
Wow, and that's awesome.
You don't seem to believe me.
I don't. I know you do chickens, and I'm thinking, what else are you doing that
Well,
needs
I'm
the
eating
rain?
maize
Are you
this year,
serious?
so I'm expecting a bumper harvest, and I will contribute to the nation's harvest.
All right. Any farmers out there, do tell us what exactly you are up to. Are you excited? Is the rain too much? Let us know. And of course, for everyone else who is not into farming, make sure
Like
you
you?
dress appropriately this week as you go about your business, because it looks like the rain will be with us for the next couple of days. And of course, that's it for Sunday edition. But before we go, the headlines once again.
Women count NDS1 successes to consolidate gains under National Development Strategy 2.
And of course, warming, soothing country music echoing in the streets of the city of kings and queens. That's Kobulawayo.
And in sports buzz, West and North Africa battle in the AFCON semi-finals. That's Nigeria versus Egypt.
Oh, yes. Oh, of course. And well, I'm putting my money on Nigeria.
So am I.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, they've done very well. And yes, I don't know what you think out there. Yo, do tell us if you're watching on our YouTube channel, if you're watching from Facebook, tell us where is your money at on this AFCON, the final. Who is going to take the trophy this time? Cote d'Ivoire is out, so, well,
yeah,
the defending champions. So too bad. Nigeria it is for me. Well, and that's it.
That's it for Sunday edition. Thank you for giving us your time. Good night.
Good night.